Okay. What is the role of faith in meditation? Faith. Role of faith. Do you really get what he's trying to ask? Faith.
How does faith help in meditation?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Actually, there's when you meditate, there's 5 spiritual faculties. One of the spiritual faculties is faith. Faith, that is first of all, faith is also like the confidence, the confidence in yourself, and also sometimes you start with confidence in the teaching, But first of all, you get inspired, with the teacher, and then like some of you, you get to Buddhism, and then you listen to some of the teaching, you get inspired, then you have the faith. And the faith, that the confidence, when you have faith, that helps you to arouse the energy. That's the faith, especially the faith in many people that have faith in in the guru, in the teacher. I think it's good, that inspire you. But they don't take you that far, They just only take you, and yes, you get happy, inspired, but ultimately you have to do the work. But the faith arouse, come from your own practice, because you started to develop that confidence, the faith, as you see that, it's really working. You can see that, you see, now, when I started to practice, I become happier, and I have, and some of the things that used to bother me in the past, now it doesn't bother me as much, or it still bother me, but it's still, like maybe in the past, it bothered you for long times, for many days, or weeks, but now it still bother you, but, it still bother you, but you already lessen so much suffering, and you can see. And then when you start to develop more clarity, and also you started to have the faith, and the faith itself arouse energy, the confidence, when the faith also arouse energy, and also you feel happy. When you have a confidence, how do you feel? You feel happy. So happy, the happiness is also energy. So as you have the energy, and then your mind becomes more alert, isn't it? When you have energy, you're alert. When you have no energy, how do you feel? Really down. So then they give you that, then you become, the mind becomes more alert, and your mind becomes alert, and then your mind becomes most easily becomes still, because you can sustain, you can stay. And then when your mind becomes really still, and that is where you develop more and more clarity, and that is also helped you. That is where the wisdom born of that stillness. When your mind becomes really still, you have more clarity. When you be used to say, as you see things as they really are, and this is how actually faith helped you. But first of all, you have to have faith in yourself also, because especially you have faith in your own practice. And also, it's, sometimes slowly you develop that faith, because you can see that, as you practice, you'll be able to see that, and oh yes, and for example, you started to see that, even unpleasant feelings arises, and then that, because you observe, like this morning, as I said, when the mindfulness is like a gatekeeper, you just observe, you're not interfering. So we are not trying to suppress or fight with these unpleasant feelings, but, we just observe, we embrace, we accept, how we feel. And then when we be able to do that, and we can see, that actually it will subside by itself. We don't have to do anything. So when you see that actually it's no big deal, even these unpleasant feelings, it's come and go, then you started to develop the faith, that it's, it won't stay. For example, just give you an example. This is my own experience. The first time when I lived in the cave, I have so much fear, because I never lived in the cave the first time. And then it's very simple, you know, the cave, and then you just like, you know, they just, don't even have any mattress, nothing. It's just a piece of, like a platform, you know. You just put a piece of, you know, a board, you know, and then we have those very thin, you know, mats, you know. Then I was so fearful the first time. And then I started to hear, I feel like someone coming towards me. Then I'm more fearful. I feel like someone standing looking at me. You know, I don't dare to turn. I'm facing the wall of the cave. I'm facing that. Then I use the blanket to cover my head. You know, I hold it like that. You know, I just holding. I don't dare to move. At that time, I was so fearful. I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And it seems like a being standing there looking at me. And then that moment, I just remembered I read a sutta, you know, when the Buddha, when he was still Bodhisattva, that he was living in the forest and go through the fear. Then he said, when you have fear, if you're walking, you continue to walk. You're standing, you continue to stand. You're lying, then you continue to lie down. So I continue with that posture. I don't move. I stay like this. I holding like this. I stay like this. Okay, this is what the Buddha said. Don't. So I just stay with that fear. And the fear becomes really very fearful. I can't really express how fearful I was. And until that fear that I can tell you really hit the max. And the moment the fear hit the max, suddenly it just subside. And then subside. I can tell you, when it subsides, my mind becomes so peaceful, very calm, because that, you know, then this is the first insight I learned. I learned that this actually, eventually anything, you know, when it hit the max, it will not keep going up and up. It's to the max, it's bound to subside. And the moment it subsides, I was so peaceful. I was incredibly, very peaceful, very calm. Then I started to, and then actually the fear gone. I don't have the fear anymore. Then I said, then I turned around. No one, nothing. And then because I started to hear, you know, when you're in the cave, we have those water dripping. And then we use bucket to collect those water. So then, you know, different fullness of the bucket, you know, when the sound drop, it comes different. But when you have fear, you will interpret your way. You want to hear what you want to hear. I feel like something like someone, I hear all this sound, but actually I hear someone that, but actually then when I look around, actually it's just the water dripping. But this is how, you know, when you're fearful, you just imagine, you interpret, you know, even just the dripping of the water, and you hear that, this is someone making noise. Then I get up and walk around. Because you know what? Why I feel like people walking towards me, actually it's just, you know, the wind blow, those leaves, you know, it's rustling sound. It's just, you know, but you know how when you're fearful, I think there's someone walking towards me. It was very peaceful. And since then, it truly helped me a lot. That actually, whenever fear arises, you know, actually, I know that it's going to subside. Because I started to develop the confidence, the faith, because through my own experience, I know that the fear won't stay. You know, the fear won't stay. It will stop by itself when it hit the maximum point. So because I've gone through that, then after that I'm less fearful. You know, and then after that, when I was in Thailand, the place, the area that I live, you know, you just live in the kuti that actually basically it's just like you have 4 walls, and then you don't have windows, but you have to open up the walls. And basically, you know, you just sleep like, you know, like on a platform. And even when sometimes heavy rains, you feel that even your toe like shower, you know. And if someone standing can pull your leg, someone standing outside there. But because we've gone through that, and then you become very peaceful and calm. Actually, when you're peaceful and calm, you're pretty fearless. You don't have the fear. I remember you have, and then even the kutis, I have this even snakes come into my kuti and things like that. I don't know why somehow I don't have the fear. And I remember there was a lady, staying in another kuti, and then she has this that I think that is a little bit is black and a little bit yellow. And this, I think not such a, it's not a, I think it's not a really quite baby, like this long, And he was around the Buddha Rupa of that lady who's saying the kuti. And then the lady so scared and told me, I can't go in and sleep. That is, the stick is there. So then how to remove it? Then I said, yeah, okay. I don't know. That moment, I don't really think of anything. I'm pretty fearless. And then I said, okay, I remove it from you. And then she gave me the candle. I said, hey, too short. Too short. I said, how to remove? I can give me a longer stake, Then she gave me a longer stake. I just take the snake, and then I throw it outside. But actually, when I do it, I was doing it with like kindness, like, I'm not harming you. And somehow, that it seems like the snakes also, they know that you're not harming them. And they didn't attack me. I just, slowly and put it there. And they said, this is how you actually, it's important that you have the faith in yourself, And if you don't have the confidence in yourself, so you don't think that it's possible for you to practice and get enlightened. So what's the point of practicing? Sometimes people have no faith in themselves. They think that only those special beings, they are special, they can get enlightened, but not me. Then you will not have the, you will not have that, encouragement, and you want to practice, isn't it? Anyway, why practice? You're not going to, we are not going to get enlightened. And also, faith also helps you, to arouse that energy, and also give you you feel happy. When you have confidence in yourself, you feel happy. So they say it's actually faith itself is part of is one of the spiritual faculties. There's the 5 that is faith, and right effort, energy, stillness. And then, what is that? Mindfulness and wisdom. So, and this is the 5 spiritual faculties. So the first one, when you have faith, you need to have this, you have energy. And then when you have this energy, when you have the faith, you have energy, your mind is more alert. Then this is how your mindfulness is strong. Then your mind become really still. You're happy, and then your mind becomes still, and then there's you have your wisdom, and this is the 5 spiritual faculties. And they said faith is one of those. They said this is the faith actually is quite important in meditation because that is help to arouse energy. So, is that answer your questions? I hope so. Dear Ajahn Hasapanna, please let us know the difference between samatha and vipassana meditation method. Okay. Samatha is stillness, you'll be able to focus, to stay. And then vipassana is more like, when they talk about, is like insight. But this insight is not those, you need to have insight, in order to become still. Like the Buddha said, it mentioned in this Dhammapada, he said, no wisdom without insight, no insight without wisdom. So when we say insight, but this insight is a small insight, it's not the deep insight that the enlightenment type of insight. So you have a bit of understanding, that you have to be a bit of understanding, a small insight in order to accomplish stillness. So because, for example, when we understand that, when we have, you develop a bit of clarity, you understand, you see that, your mind become, and you know that all these unwholesome thoughts and all this, that you don't follow those thoughts. You have the understanding that all this coming and going, you don't get sucked into it. But this type of insight, like I told you, the insight that I have understand the sphere, the kind of insight is still not the big insight yet. But you still have you need to have the understanding, the insight. So that's why, because you have the understanding, insight, and then you're not easily get drawn into, follow your trends of thoughts, and get overwhelmed by your emotion. That is help to develop that stillness. You become still. So then when your mind become completely still, then your mind become completely still, you see things as they truly are. Because all the five hindrances is not there. And that you'll be able to gain the deep insight that is the enlightenment liberation. So there's like, actually, it's just like both sides of the coin. You can't have one without another. And some people say pure vipassana. There's actually you have to have one another, because you have to have the stillness, and you have to have the wisdom. Actually, it's that both accomplish each other's. So that is, you can't say I have this, I don't have this. Then you have to have the insight, you have the understanding, insight. That the insight is also come from the clarity, and then you need to have the stillness. Your mind have to be peaceful and calm, And this is how it's actually two sides of a coin. You can't say that you have one, you don't have another. So because without insight, your mind very difficult. You cannot become still, and then the stillness is help to with your develop your mindfulness, your insight. That you have more understanding. Actually, they both they accomplish each other. So you need to have a small insight in order to achieve the big insight. So it's just like the whole path of practice. You start with insight, you end with insight. But from a small insight to a deep insight, that the liberation. So I hope this answer your question. What would be the 3 top tips you would give to a new meditators? Okay, 3 top tips. First of all, don't try too hard. Just try to relax first, and don't try to control. Don't try to force yourself to meditate. And I can tell you, the harder you try, the worse. So first of all, relax first, and don't try to force yourself to sit long time. And you'll be in agony. You ended up you don't like to sit. So it's okay, relax, and keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just relax, and then start with you don't try to force, and then it's always good to start with a causal object. So if you find that that start with the breath is difficult for you, so you start to do some body scanning first. So that's why it's always good that just a gradual training, train your mind gradually. So not to use. First of all, try to relax and not to use willpower to force yourself to focus. Actually, it will be counterproductive. The harder you try, the worse. So just relax. Okay, Ajahn Brahm right there, relax to the max. Okay, relax to the max. So that's right, relax first. And then when you relax, naturally, how do you feel? You become your body and mind become, you calm down, isn't it, when you relax? It's just naturally. But a lot of people think that I meditate, and they try to do meditation, and they try to force themselves, they try to focus on the meditation object, focus on the breath. And then the harder you try, the worse. So not try to control, not try too hard. Just take it easy, just take it easy and just relax. And it's naturally, the peace and calm come naturally. You cannot make the peace and calm happen. It will not happen. It will come. It's a cause and effect. You have to put in the causes. So that's why sometimes you just have to investigate when you're not peaceful, you're not calm. Then if you are busy, then you don't expect that, you be able to sit down and then you'll be able to focus. Then, you do something else, just relax, have a cup of tea, relax, then slowly, sit on your cushion and then spend a bit of time, to establish your present moment awareness before you go and do your either breath meditation, or you can start your body scanning. So spend a bit of time. I find most people don't spend enough time to establish present moment awareness. Even the Buddha said, to practice anapanasati, you have to establish your present moment awareness. But I think most people don't establish, they don't spend enough time to establish present moment awareness. And then straight away, they try to, focus on the breath, the meditation object. And then they think, why I can't focus? And then the harder they try, getting worse, it's counterproductive. So first of all, relax, spend a bit more time to establish your present moment awareness. Then slowly you can start from a causal object. You don't have to start with the breath first. You can do your body scanning. Because body, if you go with if you observe your body feeling and sensation, the bodily feeling and sensation, actually this is a causal object. So it's good to develop your mindfulness through a causal object than to a more refined object, because breath is a more refined object. So just to remember these three things, okay? Just relax. So don't try to. Some people ask me, is it that you meditate better or you get enlightened faster if you sit full lotus? No, don't try to sit full lotus. Just, both find a most comfortable posture and just relax and spend a bit more time to establish your present moment awareness, and then start with a causal object. Then only to a more refined object, okay? If you're always at present moment, when will we do thinking of things or ideas? Okay. Sometimes when we talk about present moment, people think that, you do nothing, I have to work, I have to plan, Present moment, when we say about present moment, that when you're right here doing plan, it doesn't mean that your present moment you cannot plan. You can plan. So this moment you're planning your trip to Thailand or to Bali, you're fully here, you plan. But the problem is we always, we never end, and sometimes we always worry about the future. So when we start planning, okay, we finish planning, we put it aside. But normally when we start planning, we start to, after we have plan A, then we start to worry about that. Then your mind starts to go to the future, or worrying about what if my plan doesn't work. Then you start to think about plan B. And after you finish your plan B, what if my plan B doesn't work? That is never end. And this sometimes doesn't mean that present means that when you're doing this, you're fully here. You're not doing something else, you're fully here. But most people, they're here, and then halfway, the mind, one little thoughts, pops up. And then they get lost in their thoughts. And then go on, and then they come back again. And sometimes they even get lost in thoughts for a long time without knowing. So present means one thing at a time. So what you do, you fully here. Give it all, you got 100%. Stay with what you are doing. It's not that you cannot plan. Actually, it's more efficient when you do things that way. So and sometimes people think that doing nothing, that means it's physically doing nothing. It's not about doing, when we said doing nothing, it's not physically doing nothing. Sometimes you can sit there, doing nothing, but your mind is very busy. You've gone to Siberia and don't even know how you get there. You get lost in your thoughts again and again, And being present means that whatever you do, you're fully here. When you're eating, you're fully aware of, even the food that you eat. I remember someone said to me, quite many years ago, and someone said, that's the food goes off, you have to throw it away. And then one lady that's staying in a monastery, he said, I didn't know, because I only focus on chewing, without knowing the food. But actually, you're not aware, you're not present, isn't it? It doesn't mean that you're present, then you stop, you don't do anything. It's not about that, So whatever, even when you're chewing, you're fully aware, because you don't just focus on, you just focus on chewing, but you're not knowing. But you know that, you're aware of that, you're aware of the food that you eat, And I remember there is another example, like people thinking that practice mindfulness, then you have to be very slow, that I'm practice mindfulness. Now I'm walking. So I'm walking. My hand is going out. Actually, you're not really mindful. You just try to concentrate, and that is not, you're not really mindful. And very funny, this guy, he's so mindful, he walk very slow, he's mindful, move, walking, and then his hand, out, and then he pick up the cup, very mindfully pick up the cup, and then he pour water into his mug, very mindfully. So mindful. And then suddenly he realized it's not his cup. It's not good, isn't it? You're not really aware, you're not really present. And sometimes lots of people think that you're not concentrate. Actually, it's just like yesterday I said that your mind is clear. You're completely, you have the clarity. You see all the details. But your mind is not like, wander off to the past, carry the guilt, and then worrying about the future. And when we say present, whatever you do, you are fully here. But how many of us be able to do that, isn't it? Can't sustain long. Even sometimes chanting also, your mind go a bit, you come back again, But it's very quick. And that is what we said present, like you stay present, but sometimes it's okay. As long as you know that your mind wander off, and then you come back again, at least you're aware of that. It's still being present. Doesn't mean that you've been present, then you can't do anything. It's just, not do it, and not physically do anything. You still can plan. You still can, Of course, you have to do that. Even you want to come for this weekend retreat, you have to do booking. You cannot just turn up like that. There's no place for you. Sorry, Isn't it? You have to, and then you have to plan your holidays. You have to plan, to come, isn't it? You have to do that. Doesn't mean that you being present. When we say present moment awareness, doesn't mean that you don't do anything. Whatever you do, when you're walking, you're fully walking. When you're eating, you're fully eating. So simple. So just remember that whenever you do, you just fully here. fully doing what you are doing. It's not that you can't do anything, you can't think. Of course, sometimes we need to think. It's not all thinking is bad. If like some people think that, oh, we shouldn't have desires. If you don't have desires, you will start today. You're hungry, you need to eat. You have desires, you need to go to toilet. You have the desires to go to toilet. It's not all desires to have the karmic consequences. Like you hungry, you need to eat, isn't it? And you need to go to toilet. So it's not all thinking. It's not that you shouldn't think. It's not all thinking is bad, okay? My daughter has autism and ADHD. I would like to help her with her anxieties and depression and have suggested meditation. She said that she cannot sit still. Do you have any guidance that I could offer to her to help? I think this is more, it's better to get a professional's help than, because I know lots of people think that, oh, meditations, I even heard some people, oh, meditation, so if you have anxieties, you're depressed, oh, meditation will help. So stop medication, don't take. I said, no, please don't stop your medication, And sometimes you do need, I know some people that they do have ADHD and they meditate, but you still need medication. So I know someone that and it's really help. If you first of all, you have to seek professionals' help, and then whether she need medication, I don't know how old she is, but I know that someone have this ADHD, the person need to have some medication. Actually, it does help to calm, because you need to have medication. So it's good. For me, is that you get the advice from professional. I'm not the professional. I can't give any advice, okay? How do I get a hold of recipes for the beautiful food that has been made? Oh, I don't know. So ask the caretaker. Caretaker, give retreat manager. So you get the recipe for the delicious food. Okay. Dear Ajahn Hasapanna, how did you become a nun? What is the hardest thing to do for a nun? It is exorcism. Okay. So how did I become a nun? Actually, to be honest, I don't really have the idea of being a nun. I don't have the idea I want to become a nun. It's just like naturally that when I spend more time meditation and I stay in the monastery, and then this naturally I think, okay, this is the life I want to live, Since I have to live until I die, so which kind of lifestyle? So then, because I do enjoy the monastic lifestyle, and I have lots of passion, I just enjoy, living this lifestyle. It's not that I want to become a nun. It's just that I enjoy this kind of lifestyle. Then I become a nun, okay? So, what is the hardest thing to do for a nun? So hardest thing to do for a nun, people think that, oh, I'm inspired to become a nun. The hardest thing is that you live in a monastery, you have to live with people, whether you like it or not. They come from different backgrounds. You have to put up with each other. Even that person always press a button, drive you crazy, but you still have to, you can't choose that, you have to live with someone. Like when you're a lay person, you can just get away, So you can just choose not to come out, not to deal with the person. But in the monastery, whether you like it or not, even the person drive you up to the wall, you still have to. Actually, this is good. Actually, it's helped you to. Actually, actually, this kind of lifestyle, actually you let go a lot. If you learn to let go, if you don't let go, actually you suffer. You learn to accept the person as the person is. And then I remember when I first, I was thinking, oh, I have to put up with this, these people. Then actually, you think about it, they also have to put up with us, isn't it? So we think that we have to put up with them, but they also have to put up with us. So actually, the moment when I think of that, actually, I feel, okay, actually, I think that I have to put up with others, and others have to put up with me. And that's that. And also, being a nun, actually people think that, we are these monks and nuns that are just being lazy, they don't want to work. I can tell you, monks, nuns, their work is the inner work. Inner work is harder than hard, You have to face yourself, but because outside you have lots of distraction. You can do, you can get distraction. You have this escape route. But as a nun, you have nowhere to run. You're being forced. Whether you like it or not, you have to force to look at yourself. You have to force to deal with your emotion. You have nowhere to distract yourself. And inner work is really hard, That is not easy. It's not physical work. Actually, physical work is easier than the inner work. That's why people think that monks and nuns, they're just being lazy, don't want to work. But monks and nuns, the monastic, they are working on the inner work. So the Buddha said inner work is harder than hard. So it's hard. So is this exorcism? No. So how do I meditate with loud ringing in my ears? Okay. So I think first of all, if you have this loud ringing in your ears, first of all you have to go and see doctor first. Why you have this? First of all, please see doctor. Ask the doctor's advice. See what happened. If maybe there is the imbalance. So please see doctor first, okay? Why are there teddy bears in the meditation hall? Oh, because some people like to hug the teddy bear. So they say, and yeah, but I don't know. I'm not a teddy bear person anyway. Yeah. This is not teddy bear. This is not teddy bear. Yeah, because some people feel, they want to hug something, they feel good, Oh. I think this is all. So after your profound talk this morning, thank you, started to notice how much nervous tension in my stomach, and it's actually very painful. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. Okay, thank you. My pleasure. Okay. I keep getting distracted by sexual talks. What monks, do monks have sex? No. If you have sex, that is a defeat offense. You're no longer a monk, or no longer a monks or nuns. So this is we can't have sex. The monks and nuns cannot have sex. If you have sex, you're no longer a monk. So it's a defeat offense. So no longer, even for this life, you can no longer become a bhikkhu, okay? It's a serious offense. So if you have a distraction of this, so please don't consider to become a monk or nun. Working in aged care, where some individuals have advanced dementia, myself and other carers will often lie or need to use some form of manipulation to convince them to accept our help. Example, when they ask about the deceased partner, I will say, oh, they are working late tonight to avoid distress. Is this breaking the 5 precepts? And yeah, sometimes that because they can't understand. If you tell them, it's not, and yeah, I think it's very difficult. It's very difficult to say that whether you're breaking or not breaking. I think it's always come from your heart, that whether you have the intention to lie. I think that is your intention is important. So if your intention come from, kindness, compassion, because, life, sometimes like we don't have easy solution. I remember when I was 1 year, we had such celebration at Dharmaloka. And then we talk about like how to practice, like especially the first precept, not harming living beings. And then one person said that, it's very difficult because when his first dog having the terminal illness, having cancer, and they decided to put down his dog. Then after that, he didn't feel right. Oh, I shouldn't have do that, put down my dog, because he don't want his dog to suffer. So then his second dog, then he decided, okay, this time, I'm not going to put my dog down. But then he see his dog suffer so much, because of the terminal illness. So then he asked, what is the solution? Then I told him, I said, as long as you're in the samsara, there's no easy solution. We cannot avoid, to some extent, to live on the expense of others. Like, for example, when we do building, to some extent, but we can only do our best to reduce, the damage, as much as we could. That the most important, that your intention is there. That is the most important, whether you have the intention. Like even for us, like when our rules, the first thing, whether we are breaking the rules, where first of all, you have to have the intention to do it, and then the person who's doing it, and then you have to complete the action, and then the person also, because of the action, cause harm to the person. The person eventually, because your intention. But if the five things is not there, then actually then it's not killing. For example, first of all, you have to have this person, the person, and then the object, the intention, and in fact you carry out the action, and the result of the action, the person die. And that is the food is complete. So that's why, first of all, whether you have the intention, So that's why I said, it's difficult. I said, that is, like, for example, we have termite problem in our monastery. Then we ended up, we just have to, there's no choice. We have to ask a pest control company to I said, do whatever you need to do, What can I do, And sometimes it's very difficult. So that the only way that, that you don't have to deal with this is not to be reborn. This is part of being in the samsara. There's no easy. So the only way is to get out is not to be reborn. When you're in the samsara, to some extent, that's why sometimes always go back to our intention, and also our intention, and also sometimes we can only do our best. And this is part of life, sometimes inevitably. How to overcome physical pain during meditation? Okay. Sometimes the physical pain actually sometimes partly mental, and sometimes maybe is your physical. But if you have really physical pain, don't force yourself to sit long time. But sometimes the pain is caused by, is more mental, and actually, yes, and meditation actually itself, it does help. I just share with you my sister, one of my sister. She used to have a lot of pain on her knee. But because she can really focus really well, and then pain becomes her meditation object. So she focused on pain. So her pain becomes, but it's difficult. Not everybody can do that. I think maybe it's just her karmic inheritance. Maybe in a previous life she practiced, and actually she focused on pain, and she get very deep and even to the nimitta stage. And then after a while, she used to use pain as his meditation object. Then after that, and then over a period of time, and then she don't have pain. Then she don't know how to focus. She said, "Where am I going to focus?" Because she have to focus on because the pain is her meditation object. So, but that is quite difficult. I don't really encourage it, because unless you be able to, because mostly you get involved. It's very difficult, especially with bodily pain. So first of all, you have to see if that is your physical, you have certain, illness, then you just have to see if you can't sit on the floor, or you can't sit on, you just try to sit on the chair, and you just, and don't try to push yourself. I know we have someone that put himself to sit, and then he ended up having to go to hospital for the knee operation. So don't do that, Yeah. So I remember sometimes the pain come from actually mental. I remember this is my first retreat that I did, and it was the first retreat I did that really intensive, very intensive, and you are not allowed to sit on the chair, and it's only walk, sit, and walk, walking meditation, sitting, walking, sitting, walking, sitting, walking, and then can't even sit on the chair. And then you get up, you get up 3:30, you start 4 o'clock, you start to practice. And then 6:30, you breakfast, you come back, you practice. And then 11, that 11 o'clock, you have your meal. And then you quickly, they give you only an hour, break, Then you quickly, to have shower and do whatever, And you come back again. Come to the third day. I was so painful. My whole body is so painful. When I tried to sit down, I was so painful. You know how many cushions I take? I took 5 cushions. 2 here, 2 here, and then 1 here, and then 1 here. I still very painful, very painful. Then since I can't sit, so what can I do? So I try to do walking meditation, but I can't walk. I was so tired, and my leg, I can't even lift my leg. It's so heavy. I can't even lift my leg. And then that time I was burst into tears. I was thinking, what am I going to do? I can't sit, I can't walk, and I don't dare to go back and lie down to sleep because you're not allowed to. And then that moment I regretted that I shouldn't have told everybody that I'm going for a retreat. Then because now if I halfway pull out, then it's so embarrassed that everybody know that I didn't make it, Then I was, I shouldn't have told people that I go for a retreat. Now the whole world know that I'm going on retreat. Now I halfway come out, halfway pull out. Then that time I was really in tears, and then that moment I was thinking, okay, I just, never mind. Just let the pain take my life. If I die of pain, fine. Actually, that letting go happened, So actually, I pull all the cushion out, and I just sit on the floor. No mat. Surprisingly, the moment the letting go, I just let go. When I sit down, the pain gone. no pain, no pain. And then it's just like magic, it's gone. Then I sit down, was so peaceful and so calm. I don't know how long I sat, very peaceful, very calm. Then after that retreat, and I can tell you, it was so happy. It's really in bliss, so happy. Actually, it lasts a few days. Even after end of the retreat, when I go back, so happy. It's really full of joy. And the people that used to upset me, that they look much better, I tell you, when you're in good mood, everything is good, tastes good, and then people also, everybody looks good, Those people used to upset you also. Oh, they don't look, they look much better. Actually, even lasts for a few days, you have that so much joy and happiness. So sometimes, also, the more we reject the pain, the more we don't want the pain, actually, you reinforce that. Actually, sometimes how powerful our mind, that the mind create that pain, That's why sometimes then I realize that this is not physical, this is mental. Because I know that the pain, I create the pain when I started to take 5 cushions. I realized that because I already have in mind that, I can't bear the pain and take all these cushions with me. And I already have that resentment towards the pain. And that caused me more pain because of resentment. So then pain, actually, you can do, sometimes a bit of metta towards your pain, towards your body. It says, this old body, it's okay. I still love you. Pain, Give a bit, say a bit a metta towards your pain, that it just, and sometimes it does work. It does work, because when you have metta, when you accept your pain, actually, you lessen your pain. The more you try to fight, the more you resent, that you have that resentment towards your pain, actually you reinforce and become more painful. And that's why sometimes they have to see whether it's come from mental or come from physical. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes they have a bit of physical pain. The more you think about it, the more it's become more painful, because you reinforce that. Actually, it's both, Sometimes because of the physical pain, and then mentally you worry about it, you're thinking about it, and the more you don't want the pain, the more painful you feel. And that is like both, But if truly you have problem with your body, the pain, first of all, you have to see doctor, okay, professional helpers. So then you just have to try to adjust. How can you, maybe if you can't sit on the floor, you sit on the chair. And then some people just can't sit too long. So if you can't sit too long, you just stand up to walk. I know when I was in Thailand, one of the monks, he's a very senior monk, I don't mention his name, and he told me that when he was a young monk, he can't sit much he's full of energy. He walked 7 hours, he said. He kept walking, walking. And actually, it's also helped you to develop your mindfulness through walking meditation. Only later, when he slowly, after a few years, then slowly he be able to sit. He said when he was a young monk, he can't sit at all, hardly sit, he can't sit. So he said he spent lots of time doing walking meditation. He walks 7-8 hours a day, walking meditation. So it's okay if you find that you can't sit long, just get up to walk. And please don't force your body. I hope this answers your question. So, okay, during meditation, I have vision. There are color and range from landscape, people, situations, explosion. I have not been in any of the landscape or meet the people I see. The vision lasts for 1 to 4 seconds, then quickly disappear. Then I just see black again. Is this one of the stages that you mentioned? We call this like more like a nimitta, you know. Like some people have nimitta with the picture, but normally we don't encourage people because when you have this picture, you get, you know, it's normally the nimitta like light. Then normally we said you focus on the light, and this is the reflection of your mind. When your mind becomes peaceful, like sometimes when your mind, some people, I remember early days when I first meditate, I used to have a very nice peppermint smell. I smell that. So my nimitta is more on the smell, but normally I don't focus on that. Then after that, it disappears. So these different people, they have different, we call it the reflection of the mind. We call it a nimitta. I know some people like a picture, you know, and some and it's just okay. It just lasts for 1 to 4 seconds, then quickly disappear. Then I just say, and then black again. And this is one of the. It's just not quite stages when sometimes your mind become peaceful and calm, and that is a reflection of your mind. What is contemplation? Contemplation is more like, contemplation is different from thinking. It's like a more deep, you know, what you call it, how to explain? It's like, because contemplation is just like, it's not something that it's not thinking, but when your mind becomes peaceful and calm, and that is a more deeper level of that how to, it's more reflection. You reflect on things that you know. For example, when you're peaceful, you say, oh, you know. And then, for example, when I have that experience with the fear, then after that, when I reflect and contemplate of that, when I contemplate on that, and I realize that, oh, actually, no big deal. And then this fear, it comes and goes. And when it hits to the max, and it subsides. And that is that you have the understanding also. It's not something that, you know, it's not the kind of thinking you keep worrying about things. It's not. But it's more you have the bit of insight, you know, that reflection, that insight. But it's not the big insight. It's like, but for when I do the contemplation, that I have that small insight. That at least I understand that things don't stay forever. So when it reaches the maximum, it's bound to subside. So you can only do that when your mind is peaceful and calm. For example, when you do contemplation, for example, like someone used to upset you, you know, or say nasty things to you, and then like I told you this morning, you know, that lady, because he used to use that, you know, to reflect, you know, the reflection on not watering the weeds, water the plant. So, and this is like a reflection, you know, you reflect, okay, oh, why I want to pick up all these, you know, these things that is unhappy, you know, why I want to water the weeds, you know, this is something is not useful for me, it's only cost me more suffering. Why don't I just focus on things that is bring me happiness and things that, you know, and this is also reflection, contemplation. So that's why, and this lady that I mentioned this morning, that she used this, you know, to help her when she was angry. So maybe at the beginning it works, you know, when someone upset her, and she will remind herself, because it's, this is what Ajahn Brahm said. Don't water. She reminds herself, like, don't water the plants, don't water the weeds, water the plant. And then she did that. But after that, each time when she get angry, she keep telling herself, don't water the weeds, water the plant. And then it becomes like she using this to suppress. So that's especially when you're very angry, it's quite difficult. So that's why I always encourage people that if you want to contemplate, reflect, you want to do reflection, it's good that when your mind becomes relatively peaceful and calm, but not when you're emotional. When you're emotional, like this lady becomes like she using this to suppress her emotion. And then she ended up that she's just building up her anger, and she explodes. So, how long was it before you noticed your mind become more peaceful and less reactive? At the beginning, how frequent were you meditating? Actually, you can't really fix a time, Each time, it depends on what gone before. Sometimes the meditation, actually, the preparation, that before you sit on your cushion, and that's why it's not only you sitting on the cushion, how you live your life, that is also part of it. For example, and also when your mind become more peaceful and less reactive, actually that is not a fixed, it's case, individual is different. Individual is different. Also sometimes depends on your mind state. If you are really busy, then it takes longer time. It's just like when your mind is busy, when your mind is very busy. So you can't stop your mind. It's just like I give the simile, like vehicles travel 120 kilometers per hour. You try to make it stop, you can't. So you have to have a bit of transition period. You have to slow down first. So actually also depends on each time, and how long it takes is also varies, with individual. And what went before you start to meditate. There is not a fixed time that, you meditate, okay, you take 15 minutes. Like some people very skilled. Like for example, some people very skilled in the meditation. They're very quick, but some people take longer. So there's like, I can't really tell you how long, And then at the beginning, how frequent were you meditating? When I was a lay person and I'm working, actually I normally meditate in the evening, especially evening, when like my family, they're gone to bed, so there's a quiet time, and I get up very early. I normally get up at 4 o'clock. So normally I meditate for 2 hours. Then after that, I will, I'll prepare and cook something. I will go and offer to the monks, and I go to work. And then basically I maintain about 4 hours per day. So then when I was early days when I was in Thailand, I meditate more, almost like about, I sleep very little, and about at least sometimes from 7 hours to 9 hours. So at the beginning, I maintain normally the 4 hours, like morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours. Can meditation help me overcome fear of death? Yes, it can help too. When your mind becomes peaceful and calm, you're pretty fearless. But you don't meditate to overcome fear of death, okay? It doesn't work that way. If you come, like for example, like my sister, she had migraine headache. And then after she meditated, actually it's really helped her. She no longer needed to take painkiller. But she didn't meditate because of she had migraine. She want to, you know, she didn't meditate because of she want to get rid of her migraine headache. She didn't come with that intention, but it's just only the results of the meditation is help her with her illness. But if you come with that you know, I'm going to meditate and meditation help me overcome the fear of that, and it doesn't work that way. So yes, you know, meditation, you know, you have to overcome fear of that. When you becomes very peaceful and calm, actually you are pretty fearless because we are very calm, peaceful and calm. But if you come with the intention, thinking that meditation is going to help you to overcome, it doesn't work that way, okay? Why do people annoy me by moving around, fidgeting, walking, making noise, talking, etc.? So, okay. So there's just remind yourself, like Ajahn said, it's not the noise disturb you, you disturb the noise. Your mind is going out. Yeah. And if you find that disturb you, maybe you just go back and you go back and sit in your room, you know, and to have compassion towards others, you know. And you remind yourself, oh, thank you for annoying me, and thank you giving me the opportunity to forgive you for being annoying, you know. Thank you for that. I remember, when the moment I get to, I have one of my friends that she used to drive me crazy, you know. Like I really want to pull my hair, you know. Then I remember once we said, she's also really annoyed me, and I was so agitated and so irritated at her. Then actually we said that we're going out tomorrow, you know. We're going shopping. We're going to get something. Then because she upset me, I was so annoyed. Then I was thinking, I'm not going to go out with her. She really annoyed me. So then I was thinking, I'm going to tell her that I'm not going tomorrow. So on my way going to her place, actually deep down I know it's come from my ego that I'm not going to with you, you know. But then I struggling, you know, that no, I'm not going with her. I'm not going to go with her. But deep down, I know that it's come from my ego. That, you know, then I like on the way that the mind just struggling, you know, that I'm going to tell her I'm not going to go with her and things like that, you know, and cannot let go because of the sense of self, the ego. But I know that, you know, that I have to learn to let it go, you know, not to hold on to that. But then by the time I keep struggling, by the time actually when I reach her place, you know what did I say? Oh, I asked for forgiveness. And then asking for forgiveness, you know. And then the moment and I said that to her, you know, I'm sorry that, you know, that we have this argument. So, and then I might upset you. Or, I don't know. Before that, I was so angry, you know. But when I arrived there, I asked for forgiveness. I tell you how do I feel the moment and I do that. I feel such a relief. That kind of free, you know, I feel like liberation, you know, that moment, you know, I feel so enlightened, you know, like, oh, you know, but because the sense of self we hold on to, like, you know, I'm not going to give in, I'm going to fight, you know. Then actually the moment then, actually I deep down, I know this is come from my ego, but then I still can't let it go. Then on my way, it's luckily that I have a bit of time, you know. Then I struggle. Then when I reach there, I apologize. I said sorry, you know, we argue and things like that, ask for forgiveness. Then actually I find that it's a benefit myself. It's just, I benefit from that, like letting go of the sense of self, letting go of that ego. And I find this so, actually it's really, you feel really good. I can tell you, I can't really express that the bliss, the happiness when I let go of that, my ego, the sense of self that, to fight, that sometimes is a giving, sometimes only you have to go through the experience, then you understand that what is letting go, what letting go that really, that what you benefit, from giving in. Because sometimes our sense of self that, I am not going to give in, I'm not going to let go. Actually, the moment, and then after a while, and also I learned to accept this person. And it's just amazing. After when I come to a place of, I be able to accept this person as the person is. In the past, this person used to annoy me so much because she liked to bombard me with all her ideas, Some of these ideas is really airy-fairy, Sometimes I say, please, stop. And then, but when the moment I be able to accept her, that is actually the letting go the way she is. Then after, since then, actually, whatever she said doesn't bother me. And then sometimes people complain to me, she's really annoying me, she bombard me with that. Then I will tell the person, what do you expect? She's just being her, If she's not like that, it's no longer her. And then I just, whatever she do, I just laugh. And because when you truly accept it, accepting the person, you don't expect her to be different. You don't expect her to change. The same thing. You just, the noise is there, the people annoying you, just accept the person. If people like the fidgeting, you just accept that, they're just being fidgeting. You accept the way they are. So they give you relief, freedom, okay? Oh dear, dear Venerable Ajahn Hasapanna, sometimes when I meditate, a tune or a song appears, keeps playing in my mind. What do I do about it? I try to ignore it, but it keeps playing like a broken record. So I try to override it by using short chant. Okay. So meditation that I already mentioned, that you don't try to suppress or try to fight, try to get rid of it. The more you do that, actually you reinforce. So you can use that breathing exercise. Actually, it will help. When you have this song play, the song appears, and play in your mind. So you're breathing in this tune, then you're breathing out peace. So you make peace with that, it's okay. Because if you fight, you reinforce. The more you try, and then because you try to do chanting, because you try to use chanting to suppress that, it doesn't work. It's similar to that lady that she tried to keep telling herself that, water the plants and water the weeds, It's the same thing that you try to suppress it, it doesn't work. So sometimes it's good that actually acceptance is letting go. You just, okay, you embrace that, you accept that, you make peace with that, and then it will go away. You make peace, it go away. So you just do the breathing exercise. Breathing in the tune, breathing out peace. Breathing in, breathing out peace. And that will help, okay? I like to set goals for my future. I find this conflicts with stay in the present moment awareness. Is goal setting okay? Yeah, you can set goal, but the goal that you set that actually is more reasonable. Okay, don't plan too far ahead, or 20 years plan, or 15 years plan, or 10 years. Sometimes we do have to set. We do have sometimes to set the goal, so that you achieve. But the reasonable goal. It's not something that is really beyond. Like for example, you don't make a determination. I'm going to sit until like the Buddhas, that I'm going to get enlightened now. So at least it's a step, Actually, it doesn't mean that it's just like just now already mentioned. Doesn't mean that you cannot practice present moment awareness, That you still can plan. So after you plan it, you put it aside, okay, and not go on and on. What is hope? Does hope have an purpose? Is having hopefulness the same as having expectation? Yes, expectation actually is more like craving. You're looking for something, hoping for something, like craving, wanting something happen, expecting, hoping something happen. And it's more like, looking into, I hope that, I will, expecting something in the future to happen. So does hope have a purpose? No, because you can hope for anything, you can wish for everything, you can expect everything, but whether it's going to fulfill, whether it's going to happen, no. Sometimes, like the Buddha said, what we are now is what we have been. What we will be is now, and it's important what you do now. But you can have this wishful thinking. Oh, I hope I will be this, I will be that. It will not happen, but just a wishful thinking. You have to put in the causes. Then things will happen. It's not only expecting things happen, hoping things will happen. Turns out the way I want it to be. No, it won't. So you have to investigate. You have to change. If you repeat the same thing, you will get the same result. You're not having a different result. So you are not hoping life will change. Then you don't change the way of your attitude, the way of the way you do things. If you repeat the same action and then you hope that your life will change in the future, it's not going to change. So that's why you just hoping, expecting things will change in the future, it will not change. If you want to change, you have a change in your future, you have to change now. So in this moment. So your future is not, ahead of you, waiting there to happen. Actually, it lies within this moment. So how you live your life, what you're going to do, how you live your life, what you're doing now is important. Okay? Is there a reason the mind keeps replaying conversation, going over what I said, and the mind trying to predict future conversation? What do I said comes back? Okay. So when you have to replay this conversation, so you just aware that okay, this conversation is going around. You're aware of that, and then you just sometimes all this playing, it's more like an inner chatter. The inner chatter is that's why you're not present. If you're present, you don't have the inner chatter. So the inner chatter, normally inner chatter, the Buddha said, arises from thoughts, From thoughts, it manifests into thinking, that inner chatter. Then you repeatedly doing that, you become a habit. So that's why if you're present, and you will not have that replay. But of course, sometimes you can't stop that, Then sometimes it's good that if you have that, one of the method you can do, you can go to do body contemplation. So reflect, go into your body because it's very difficult. You can't stop it, So you go back, to your body, sensation and feelings. Sometimes you can feel that when your mind going that, again and again that's go on. Actually, you can feel that is some reaction that manifest into your body. Then you feel how you feel like when you're in that state of mind, that with all this inner chatter going on, how to, for example, sometimes you feel when you have anxieties. I noticed that in early days when I feel nervous, I feel there is a tightness in my chest. Then I just focus on that, and then it stops. So because sometimes because you didn't notice that, you didn't catch it, so you just keep following that. So sometimes it's good that you bring your mind back to your body, stay with your body, feeling and sensation. Then this is give you a break. Then you give you a break. Then you don't follow that, into that inner chatter, the conversation. So go back to your body and stay with your body, feeling and sensation, and this really helps. Oh, what is the meaning of life? Okay. I remember Pa Outsider, I think some of you might know. Pa Outsider is a very famous monk from Burma. So someone asked him the same question. What is the meaning of life? He said, there's no meaning at all. This is his answer. So he says, there's no meaning at all. Life has no meaning at all. This is his answer. So I give you his answer. Actually, this is what he said. People ask him, what is the meaning of life? He said, life is no meaning. This is what his answer. So any more questions or comments? They finish? Any more questions or comments? Everybody tired? Huh? Yes?
For a person that had ADHD,
Uh-huh.
I have ADHD,
Uh-huh.
and it's very, very good for meditation.
Uh-huh.
It makes you not want to be involved in the senses.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a disadvantage for people.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, we have someone also have that, like our nun, one of the nun also, and it's okay, but she need medication.
Yeah.
She have medication, and it's help. Yeah. So that's why we cannot just think meditation will solve everything. So because many people have that, and some people terrible give people advice, oh, stop medication, just meditate. I said, please don't give people such advice, to ask someone to stop the medication. Oh, meditation help. No, meditation is help, but because meditation is slow, so but you need medication, so it does help. But some people shouldn't give that kind of advice. Ask people to stop their medication. Oh, just meditation it will help. I said, no, you have to have medication. Actually, it's helped to really calm her down a lot, and yeah.
Listen to all the doctor's advice, but it's not a disadvantage.
Yes. That's why I'm really scared. Like some people give that kind of, and they think that they're expert. I heard people giving this kind of advice. Oh, meditation is good. No, stop your medication. I said, please don't give this such advice. You need medication. It does help. Meditation help, and also medication and meditation. You need both. So you cannot give up medication. You have to have medication and meditation. It does help. So I told this person, I said, actually, don't have to feel that or ashamed or because I have ADHD. I said, it's just like people having diabetes, people having high cholesterol. Same thing. I said, it's just, but why you identify this is something that is no good? I said, no, it's just, so I told this person, I said, no, it's fine, it's just like someone having, high cholesterol and someone having high blood pressure, someone having diabetes, then it's the same thing, it's just the body, the way the body makeup is just like that, and you need medication, like you have diabetes, you need medication, you take medication, or you have high cholesterol, so you have to take medication. So actually, it's nothing to feel that, I'm not normal or something. It's just like any other illness, like many people have diabetes, high cholesterol, that's all. Then you need medication, So it's good. Yeah, I'm glad that that's helped you. Yeah. So any more? It's good for sharing that. So any more questions or comments? No? Okay. No more questions or comments? Any more? No more?
I just disagree. You said life has no meaning.
Huh?
I disagree with that. You said life has no meaning.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this individual is okay. I agree with this agreement, okay. I agree with this agreement. Okay, anything else? Yeah?
When you talked about self-doubt, the question, is it working? Okay. About self-doubt, if you are doubting yourself, how can you overcome that? How can you come to have the faith that you talked about?
Okay. Because self-doubt is all come from a lack of confidence in oneself. That's why it's important to develop that. That's why one of the ways is actually to learn to appreciate yourself. Like sometimes we tend not to appreciate ourselves, and then to appreciate, that our own qualities, and that is also help to develop your self-doubts, because we have lack of the trust in ourselves. And actually you can do this, like a little practice, like, every day in the morning. You can, first of all, you develop like gratitude is help, because gratitude itself will help you to appreciate things much more. Then this helps you to, this is help you start to appreciate, And for example, like morning when you have your breakfast, so you just, before you eat, you just spend a few moments to reflect that the food the breakfast that you're going to eat, that is, come from all beings, contribute towards that. So then you just being grateful for the food that, that is, so many beings, have contributed into this food. So we really appreciate and really grateful for all the beings, all the sacrifice, all the beings, in contribute in the food. And then that is, then that when we have the gratitude, and then we appreciating much more. Like if we don't have gratitude, we tend to take it for granted. If someone have no gratitude, even you have the best, if you have the best of, everything, you have the whole world, it's still not good enough. But if you have the gratitude, even a sip of water, you feel so grateful. I'm so grateful you give me that sip of water. But this is a way to, actually is a condition your mind, train your mind to develop that mental habitual pattern. And this is how you condition yourself. And also, like for example, and this little practice actually is help and to recondition yourself, And for example, like, early in the morning you get up, then you just, just be grateful that, I'm still healthy, I'm still alive, I'm still, I'm still be able to breathe, and then you really appreciate the fact that, you're still, I'm still living is a blessing. And again, I have another day, wow, then you fully make use of that. And that is to learn, to appreciate yourself much more. And if you be able to appreciate yourself much more, and then you won't, that is to help you with the self-doubt. Because it's come from lack of confidence in yourself and you don't trust yourself. So is that make sense to you? Answer question? Okay. Any questions or comments? Any? Yeah.
Could we say we come to have this life experience? It's just for the it's for the experience rather than no meaning. We come to Earth. We come here to experience what we should experience, what we sole purposes to come here to experience. And but you say it's left no meaning, so that's why I just don't get it.
Okay. Because these experiences that when we experience that, we try to we will start to understand life much more, have more clarity, and we be able to see what causes us suffering and what leading us to suffering. And then of course when you practice, when you go deeper, and because sometimes it's very difficult for me to explain deeper, and of course if that's individual is different how you interpret life, Of course, for some people think that life, that a meaningful life, that is that you be able to give, be able to share, that is very meaningful, and it's fine, and that is be able to share is quite meaningful. Be able to give is meaningful, and at least you be able to help others is meaningful. And so actually, it's just like like individuals, perception or understanding is different. So I'm not like impose on others that you have to see things this way. For example, like by outsider, because he's like more that his level, that his see things is different from from normal people, because he's more that he see things is a more deeper level. Yeah. So that means I'm just saying that how he said it. But of course, different people have different definition of what is the meaning of life.
Yeah, so, I don't think challenges.
Yeah.
It's a suffering.
Yeah.
I just think it's an experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we should judge any challenges. Yeah. It's a suffering. It's just pure experience. You can experience easy. You can experience hard.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's a suffering.
Okay. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I mean, but when we said that, back when we said that, it's just like when the Buddha's teaching of when we talk about suffering, actually it doesn't mean that we have to suffer. When we understand what causes us suffering, then we don't suffer. Actually, there is a way out. It's not teaching the end of suffering. If we sometimes, because we don't understand, that we tend to identify our experience, because sometimes when there is challenges, we think that things have to go on. Things have to go the way we want it to be, and then things don't go the way we want it to be, or we think that it's wrong, then it causes us suffering. Then when you understand that experience is just experience, then that you release your suffering. So that is actually, when we talk about that, actually we are not trying to get rid of suffering. We're not, but we try to understand why sometimes people suffer, because of we don't understand suffering. So when we understand that whatever happened, like how people identify whenever this moment, for example, they feel emotional or they experience some anxieties, then they identify, rather than they just know that, okay, this is how I feel, this is what I experience this moment, but you don't identify this as me, I'm bad, I'm terrible, I'm I shouldn't have depression, I shouldn't anxieties, It's that you don't identify with that, You just see as an experience. So that's why when we said that, suffering, and we are not said you have to suffer, and we said that everything's suffering. No, it's just that sometimes we suffer, we don't know that actually we don't understand suffering, then actually we create more suffering for ourselves. Like there is no good or bad experience. So every single experience is an opportunity to grow.
That's the life purposes, isn't it? That's the meaning of life.
Yeah. So I'm trying to say that everybody is different. How because different level, they have different level of seeing things. Understand what I mean? When I said this great monk, he said that because his level is. Most people not that level yet, you know what I mean? But some people feel great, you'll be able to help, be able to give, and it's wonderful. It's not that it's bad, but sometimes you have to understand you're not that level yet, And some people feel that it's a great opportunity to be able to give, They find that it's very meaningful, be able to give, So that's why it's not that whether it's right or wrong. And it's just that different people have different way of interpretation, how they define things. So on a different level. So it's nothing, it's not...
That means from soul purposes. You mean this life experience no meaning at all. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Because from life purposes, it says no meaning.
Yeah.
From soul purposes, it says no meaning. Is that what you try to say? Or?
Yeah, because sometimes because of we misinterpret the sense of self. We misinterpret that. That is when the Buddha's teaching of non-self, and it's not that you are not here, but we identify every experience that that is fixed, is under control, but actually. All our experiences is coming and going. There's not something that you can control, you can make it stay. So that's right. That because of people misunderstanding that I can control, I can make things stay, I can make things the way I want it to be. But rather they'll just experience that, okay, this is how things, okay, it's just come and go. And then this is how you free yourself, that you no longer, actually, that is because of the sense of self, that ego, that we misinterpret, we misunderstand, That's why the more you try to control, rather to see things as okay, like you understand that everything is just come and go. When you see that, and especially when you see that, and you feel free because that actually you cannot control, that's beyond your control. Things just happen is where it is, Then you become more at ease and at peace with things. And okay, just the way the things is, So I don't know whether that's...
I love things you said, fantastic. I really love it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people think that, when we talk about non-self, where am I? Actually, when we said that non-self, that means that because sometimes we think that we try to control, we try to make things the way, and like, for example, we cannot control that we grow old, we cannot control that, that if that when the Buddha said, when there is a self that you can control. So, but because of we misinterpret that is a self, that's why the more we try to control, the more we try to, and then we got upset, we get angry when things not go our way, rather than just okay, like for example, like things don't go the way, the way we expect it to be. Actually, it's normal, and because what we expect to happen in the future is come from our previous experience. Then we expect this happen, but then if things happen not our way, we expect it to be, and then actually we learn something new, Oh, you need something new because, of course, this something because what we predict, what we project to the future that's going to happen is based on what we know. So when things happen that what we don't know is not wrong. It's just like there's no good or bad experience and no right or wrong decision because things happen according to multiple causes and conditions. So some part, yes, we can control, some part is beyond our control. So it's okay. No, things don't go our way, it's normal. If things go our way, bonus. And this is how we free ourselves. And we don't less, because we understand that what are the things that, some of the things is beyond our control, some of the things that we can control, then we can see that we have very little control over things. And this is where we become more at ease and at peace. We understand, the more we understand this is part of life, then the more we become more relieved,
Do you think Buddha will agree with you that life is no meaning?
Hmm?
Do you think Buddha will agree with that statement?
If the Buddha thinks that life is, if it is the meaning, he will not get enlightened, okay? Because when you get enlightened, you're not coming back. You're not coming back anymore, okay?
No, I love this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Sometimes people just not ready. You want to come back, fine, isn't it? It's really, it's not good or bad or right or wrong. It's just, and he's had enough. So he think there's like those enlightened beings, they have enough. They don't want to come back, it's fine. If they think there is no meaning, they don't want to come back, it's fine. But you think that life got meaning, you want to come back, fine too. Isn't it? It's nothing wrong with that, It's that, you have enough, you don't want to come back, fine, isn't it? But you don't have enough, you want to come back, fine too.
I'm just wondering, because to me, I understand it's like experience. You just like feel it. Your body feels it. You get that experience.
Yeah.
Since you had enough, you go for next step. You do next one. You had enough, and then you leave this and you go the other place because it's endless learning, endless growing. So that's why we come to this.
Fine, wonderful. If you feel that way, fine. It's good. It's okay. It's just like I just like it's okay up to individual. You're right too. But outside too also right. So you're also right. No, I mean it's just the individual. Definition individual is just different. So we just okay. If someone you think that life is wonderful, experience is wonderful, then it's wonderful. It's just as long as what makes you happy, then it's fine.
You're wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
There was a quote in the book.
Huh?
There was one quote in the book: "Life has no meaning but the one you give it."
Yeah. It depends on how you gave it. Yeah, it's true. That's why Actually, the meaning is come from how you interpret your life, how you give the meaning to your life. So now you got it. Okay. Woo. Thank you. Sometimes I'm happy, I'm not afraid of people challenge me because sometimes people, when I'm happy that you challenge because you make me learn, you make me think. Sometimes you don't think, Someone says, I never thought of that, Then someone asks me, yeah, it's interesting, good questions. And make me think, thank you for asking that anyway, thank you. And it's good. I mean, sometimes it's good that, to challenge, and then I like that because I find that you learn more. You learn more. And then sometimes it's good. Especially it's okay that, people disagree with me. I like it. No, if not, you absolutely deluded, and then you think that you know everything, It's true, if you think that people disagree with you, then it's good. And thank you for your questions. Yeah.
I learned from you is your kindness and your calm. That's I learned tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Good night.